Hey guys, Dan Quinn with Rapala, Field Promotions and R&D, joined with my good friend.
I'm Kyle Wood, I'm the product manager for Rapala. And man, do we got some cool, exciting stuff. I think it's all really fun and fishy, but there's probably one that takes the cake, and that would be the new Claptail 110. This thing, so many hours went into making this. We worked on this in conjunction with Jacob Wheeler, and it really was kind of a matter of, obviously, you know, plopper style baits get bit everywhere. But you know, what can you do to make a plopper better, I guess? What kind of modifications can you do to tweak it, give it an extra sound, give it more stability? You know, there a lot of things went into looking at it, and I have no idea how many versions of this we made. Lost a lot of sleep, got mad at Wheeler a couple of times, and I'm sure Finland hated seeing me pop up in their emails. But you know, we did it, and there's a lot to take in. Like I said, it's a 110 size, so it's a good overall length. I think kind of for wherever you fish, you know, whether it's a pond, whether it's a creek, a lake, and there's a lot to take in on features we have here. I think the biggest thing that sticks out are the clunks of metal, or the chunks of metal we have on the back end of this thing. We have a stainless steel blade for the propeller, and then you notice this guy hanging off the back here. As this plopper tail rotates around, it contacts this, so you not only get that plop, but there's this really cool, like, I guess I'd kind of call it like a plop tink, kind of a
Tinking, metal on metal.
Yeah, dual tone sound, and it's super unique, and gosh dang, they bite it. They really do.
It's some of the cool details that you guys figured out and with Jake, I thought was just super impressive. Like, this blade is upside down.
Yep.
And if you were to flip this around, which you'd almost instinctually do, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it locks up.
This little fin on the belly,
The little stabilizer fin, yeah, it's offset to counterbalance. You know, obviously there's a lot of turbulence between this back blade and that, or the back prop and the blade as they contact. And you need something to help kind of counter the bait back to being stable. And that's what that little fin on the belly does. Mm-hmm. We obviously, you know, we got it weighted where it rides a little lower in the water too, mm-hmm. which I think also helps keep it keeled.
And it starts up immediately. There's absolutely no pop in your rod. There's no, it sits like this, and the
almost
second
vertical.
you pull it, just,
yep,
it's going.
It weighs just under an ounce, so you can cast it, you know, a really long ways, but some of that weight also was built in for that to start up almost immediately.
Yeah, yeah, just straight braid is often a good way to fish with this bait.
Nothing better.
40, 50 pound straight braid.
Yep.
Get it done, so.
And probably the biggest thing we haven't mentioned yet is that front swiveling hook hanger.
True,
we got a swivel in the front. You know, you catch one on a plopper style bait, they can get a lot of leverage depending on the size of the lure you're using. Mm-hmm. But having that swivel in the front takes all that out of the picture and helps keep them pinned for you. So like I said, there was a lot of things that went into looking at, you know, improvements that can be done, but also, you know, just little things that not only Jake, but the rest of the pro staff wanted, you know, in a bait like this. And I think we did it.
We did it.
Yeah. Thank goodness we did.
Yep, all your efforts paid off, Kyle. You did a good job.
All right.
This one's exciting. And it's got to be one of the funnest lures to fish with, to watch it. It's loud, and the way fish blow up on it, I mean, it's tough to beat a topwater bite.
It is, you know, and whether you're just getting into fishing or, you know, you're a seasoned veteran, this is one thing that it just brings a smile to your face when you throw it out there.
It's largemouth, smallmouth, spotted bass. I mean, it's, yeah, this is going to be one you're going to want to fish with, 100%. So pretty exciting stuff. The old Claptail, but
Claptail, but you know, we got a lot of other cool, you know, new stuff and bassy stuff. I think another big one for us, this is called the Snare. As Rapala, you know, we have lipless crankbaits. It's nothing new. I think the one thing that we kind of lacked was a lipless crankbait that you could fish more in grass. You know, that's more reactive, not quite as loud as, say, like a rip and wrap
Sure. Yeah.
Something with a little more, subdued sound, but fishy. And in the snare, there's a 1/2 ounce bait, comes in 18 colors. So we got you covered, West Coast, East Coast, South, we got you. This thing, I think one of the most unique features is on a lipless, there's kind of a wide array of, actions when you're not reeling it, right? You obviously want it to start up right away, but what's it doing when you're not moving it? And this thing on the fall kind of has a little like head down, side to side shimmy to it. And I think that, if you clear it out of grass and that thing's doing that on the way down, I think it's a good way to trigger bites aside from that, snapping grass, because you'll get bit clearing anything out of grass. But that little extra something, or if you're yo-yoing it in really cold water, the ability for this bait to start up, you can feel, you get the response right away of it rattling up, and then that shimmy back to the bottom. It's just secondary actions are big in anything. And Absolutely. I think it was key in our mind to make sure that whatever new lipless we had did that, and that's what you get with the snare.
Yeah, super versatile lure. You can just bomb it, reel it straight, hit grass, snap it, rip it, yo-yo it, or it's a cool versatile lure, whether you put it in the hands of a kid or you put it in the hands of a seasoned tournament fisherman. I mean, it's just a tried and true lure that's going to catch a lot of fish, and this one is very dialed in.
And it won't break the bank either, which is nice.
Super good price on it. Yep, absolutely. Yep. Then I think next, spill the beans on a really cool new, it's I guess technically a size extension to a family that's tried and true.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The infamous DT family, right? From the DT4s to 20s and everything in between. We finally are adding a DT-12.
Yeah.
So it's the body of a 10, same exact size and weight.
Same weight, yep.
But the bill is just a little bit longer, and it's going to get down to 12 feet, very easily.
You can crank it deeper.
Get down even a hair deeper than that. But man, that profile, getting that little bit deeper. And when you're using the DTs, you're always typically trying to hit the bottom and get that erratic, reaction strike on a fish when it hits something. So it's grinding the bottom. So when you're in, say you're in like 10 or 11 feet in that DT10, it might tick the bottom, but then the 14s or the 16s were a little bit too much. The 12 is the deal. And that's just such a great depth where the fish are often in. I think this DT-12, it's already caught a lot of fish, and it's gonna catch a lot of fish for everyone that ties this guy on.
And it's one of those, where before when you'd go up to a DT-14 or a 16, you'd also go up in body size. So that's great in certain situations, but there's a lot of times where it's almost too intrusive. So, keeping the DT-10 body, a little bigger lip, a little more depth is kind of a no-brainer.
Yep. Yeah, same, just that subtle balsa action in these DTs. It's tried and true. The DTs, they kind of speak for themselves, but yeah, pretty excited to add the 12 in.
Yep.
So we added, what was the last one we added? It was an 8 a few years ago.
Yeah.
And that's been a killer. So, yep, pretty exciting, and all the same cool colors that all the DTs are in. How many do we even have these days?
It's like 36 or something like that in the DT10. So yeah, this will mirror the DT10 color. Yeah, more than enough to choose from, that's for sure.
Yep, pretty cool. So yeah, those are the first 3 that we're gonna kick off with. Now, how about some?
I don't know, I think we go right here. An oldie but a goodie. Again, as Rapala Jiggin Rap is probably one of our most iconic lures that we make. This is a size extension for it. This is the Jiggin Rap 11, which actually existed years ago, and it went away. A lot of demand for it, especially forward-facing sonar, heavier things to get deeper. This is an ounce of lead, so this bad boy will get down there quick, and it's huge. It's got the same Jiggin Rap action. The only thing we did is we modified, I guess probably no one watching this has seen the original Jiggin Rap 11, but we did modify the body line so that it's similar to the rest of the Jiggin Rap family currently. And then it's available in, 16 colors, I think. 16 fish catching colors. Basically, whether you're walleye fishing, trout fishing, bass fishing, we got a color for you in the 11.
Yeah, the Jiggin Rap, in my opinion, is one of the most fish-catchingest lures of all time. originating as an ice fishing lure.
And still underutilized.
100% still underutilized, but with the whole walleye boom that Al Linder helped initiate, and then I know on the West Coast, ice jigs, as they're often called, you know, for vertically fishing in the colder water times,
Sure.
or down in the Ozarks when those fish get really deep and you need to get to them quick, and they're, especially with forward-facing sonar, you're seeing them busting bait balls out deep, and you need to get down quick, and you got to hit them on the head, and that's when you get to depth too. A lot of lures lose their action once you get deeper than 20 feet, right? So that your line becomes an anchor. So lures kind of lose their action the deeper they go, except for the Jiggin Rap, because it's got the horizontal action with that tail fin and the way the pull point's right in the middle of the bait, so it sits flat, and when you snap it, he's just dancing.
Swims around,
I mean, doing figure eights, and what you can do with Jiggin Raps is pretty awesome. And I don't think there's a fish out there that doesn't bite a Jiggin Rap.
No, buffalo or carp, walleyes, pike, bass, you name it.
They bite it.
Tarpon.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'm excited to add that, the big number 11. Actually bring him back, I guess.
Bringing him back.
So,
Yep,
cool.
he's back.
Cool stuff.
Moving along, a cool extension, and we've kind of been rolling out with these for the last few years, is the Elite family, where we take, you know, a lot of our legacy baits. You know, we've had the Shad Rap Elite, Countdown Elite before. Now we have the Floater Elite. This is available in 2 sizes. This is the 120 size. We also have an 85. 12 colors in this. So really, compared to a floater, very similar action. The big difference here in all of the Elite family is the more durable construction. So this is through wire. You know, so whether you're, you know, maybe you're a striper guy, or maybe you do throw it for bass, because bass do bite floaters.
They 100% do.
But you know, on the original floater, a lot of times you can, you know, you catch a big enough, angry enough fish, you can bend out a back hook hanger or something. This is a forged flattened wire on the nose and every hook hanger point that's all connected internally here. So basically, you destroy this thing, you're doing stuff. You got jaws.
Gonna hang that one on the wall.
Yep. But the other thing you get with this too is increased castability. There's a little more weight to it, so you can cast a little better, which was kind of, I don't want to say a knock on the floater, but especially you get down into like the 7 size of a floater, casting it on a spinning rod can be a little tough. So the 85 size is a good option there for better castability. And the gilded finishes, I think, is another thing that stands out on these. They look so awesome. You know, and all the colors here are basically just updated versions of you know, stuff we have in the Rapala lineup, but we call it gilded, where it's kind of that metallic faceplate on it. You know, you can see it on the bluegill one too. They look so good and they work so good. So there it is, Floater Elite. You know, new for this year. And then also, speaking of floaters, got a couple new colors. 3 new colors. I don't have the other one, but it's chrome blue. We got metallic silver, and Nordic perch. These are available in, what do we got, 4 sizes, I think, up to the 9. I think it's as big as we went on these. So just heavier. A little update for floater. We haven't had new colors in forever, I think, in floater.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that the key thing across all 3 of them are metallics, that silver side, flashy, bait fishy vibe. So really anywhere in the country, you know, any of these new colors will catch fish for you.
Absolutely.
I think that's it, right?
I think we covered
Oh my
it.
gosh, we're out of it. I blacked out for a second.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than,
Well, if you want to find out more about these baits, maybe get your hands on them, check it out at Tackle Warehouse.